So the control of lung cancer always starts with the challenging issues of prevention, early detection, and diagnosis. This is actually a quandary why lung cancer is the most common cancer globally and in the Philippines when it's the most preventable cancer, because we know what causes it most, smoking and tobacco. So Dr. Milangel, first let's look at prevention. How can we strengthen efforts to reduce this major lung cancer risk factor, which is tobacco use, and the other secondary causes, as mentioned by Dr. Samana, that not so recognized causes of lung cancer, because we have a high incidence already of lung cancer among never smokers also.
First, will you please change the picture? they always put the picture every time I come to something like this. That's not me. Okay, Dr. Samana actually talked about public education about that. But what I think is that, remember, if you go right away to public education, it means to say it's the adult rather than the young. And hence, if we never really thought of starting education against lung cancer in the very young, in the grade school. Vaping, by the way, ano ba yung age group ng vaping? Would you know? They're adolescents. And hence, the education awareness campaign should now go to the grade school. And Department of Education and the Department of Education should be the one that would be responsible for this. Remember, there is physical education, there is health education, there is whatever, and these are where we should come up with healthy lifestyle. And it should be in the grade school. We try to brainstorm them, put it in their mind right from the very start. I was in an HIV UICC last week, and we talked about how do you bring the daughters to come for vaccination. And so we came up with a mother-daughter program wherein the mother gets screened but brings along the daughter, so that we will actually understand that if she gets HPV vaccinated at full gamut, then she doesn't really have to undergo the screening. You know, the screening. I don't know if that's true, but if you undergo the full HPV screening, particularly the, I got it. Particularly the 9th strain, the 9th strain, then most probably you don't really come down with cervical CA, and then the screening thing doesn't really happen, or the disease doesn't really happen. So in lung cancer, we start with the grade school. We start with the Department of Health. We start with healthy lifestyles, and ingrained in the healthy lifestyles would be, you talk about exposure to pollutants, and in the pollutants, you talk about smoking, and then the children will go home, they see their father smoking, and he would say, you should not be smoking. Okay, so that's, I think, what we should do. It has never, I don't know if it has been tested anywhere else in the world, but maybe we should go there. We already have campaigns in the quote-unquote public sector, and usually this is in the adult. And of course, we still have to campaign among college groups, but we have to go down to the grade school.
Nothing to add to that. How about the other risk factors that never smokers are exposed to but develop lung cancers?
So aside from tobacco smoke, we now know and recognize that indoor pollution, such as fuel, using coal fuel for cooking, for example, in poorly ventilated areas, especially perhaps in rural areas, would increase the risk not just for lung cancer, but we already know even for other chronic conditions such as heart disease. So recognizing that and informing the public that that is an important risk factor would probably help in also addressing the problem of lung cancer in the non or never smokers. But as apart from education, I would like to add that we really need system-wide solutions that will provide an enabling environment for healthier lifestyle and solutions that will prevent these behaviors among the population. So one very concrete example of that was the sin tax law. After the passage of the sin tax law, the most vulnerable sectors of society in the Philippines were unable to afford tobacco. And we see a reduction in the incidence of smoking among this population. Of course, those who are already smokers who are addicted just shifted to lower price tobacco products. But you know, that's an example of how legislation is a very powerful tool. Policy is a very powerful strategy to make sure that the population will choose or will live healthier lifestyles.
Let's go now to lung cancer.